Hey guys, I'm sure you read the title. You're here to find out how I was dragged by Ugandan Twitter. So on Monday, there was this hashtag that was going around Twitter, and the one that I joined was "Find People from Uganda." There was different African countries that were participating, and it's actually still going on. I mean, right now it's Wednesday, and it's still going on. So I decided to just, to join the hashtag. Because I'm like, I'm Ugandan and I think I'm cute. So why not, right? So I posted 4 photos because that's the max on Twitter. And I remember choosing the ones that were like on top of my gallery. Unfortunately, the ones that were on top were the ones that mostly were Snapchat filter ones. So I uploaded like 3 out of 4 of them with me, like of me using Snapchat filters, right? Anyways, I didn't think this through. Like, I really, first of all, if you're gonna upload something on Twitter, like, people upload perfection on Twitter, you know? And so I should have thought of that. I really should have. Like, I know better, but I don't know, I wasn't thinking about it. So anyways, I uploaded my photos, and then I just kept on going on my, I just went back to looking at tweets on my timeline and stuff. And I got a notification that someone had liked it. I'm like, oh, yay! And then later on, I got another notification. And it was this person who it was this guy, Ugandan man, who had retweeted my photo, and they had called it "Welcome to people from Uganda." So I liked it, and then as I was liking it, I'm like, hold up, why did he take fine? Why did he, because the original hashtag is "Find People from Uganda," so why did he remove fine and just say welcome to people from Uganda? That's when it hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's calling me ugly. I was like, oh, ouch, how do I take this? And by the way, another reason why, like, forget Twitter, Ugandans are savage. So I should have thought this through before I uploaded those photos. Because, like, especially Ugandan men, they are savage. So I don't know why that didn't click. But anyways, so I remember just seeing that tweet, his retweet, and I was just like, ouch. What does one do after they've been dragged for their looks? Because, when you're on Twitter, you see people being dragged. Heck, sometimes we also participate in dragging. Like, whether it's, you may not say something, but you might like someone else dragging someone, or you might like their tweet, or you might retweet it, right? So that's how I participated in dragging. So, but then when you're on Twitter, you know that it could happen to you. And so I always knew that it could happen to me too, but then I didn't think it would be over my looks. Like, I always thought it would be like something that I said. Basically, my brain's not my looks, bruh. So I think that's partly why I didn't know what to do. I was just like, they called me ugly. What do I do? So I told my friends about it, and then I was just looking at it like, what does one do? Which speaks to my self-esteem, because I was still in shock. Like, I was just like, I've been called ugly. But honestly, I was just like, what do I do? Anyways, so I talked to my friends about it. And guys, I teared up. I was just like, what does one do about this after being called ugly in front of the whole world, So then, let's see. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I've never called anyone ugly, which I have. But I'm not the kind of person who will go on someone's photo and be like, oh, this is ugly. Like, why are you uploading this especially in this hashtag, or like let people live, And at the end of the day, we're all superficial. Like, we're all attracted to what we're attracted to. So it's not that I expect people to think, oh, she's beautiful, like everyone in the world. No, I'm not like dumb like that. But still, it was just so, I felt like it was unnecessary. First of all, like, they didn't have to, Anyways, so I just remember thinking that maybe I should have uploaded like better photos, like photos of me without like a Snapchat filter, or I don't know, just like slave photos. That's what I just remember thinking that. But nope, it was too late. And then I also remember telling myself not to feel that way, because at the end of the day, that would be letting the cyber bullies win, and I was not gonna let that happen. Nah, like, I was not gonna be bullied, not on Twitter anyways. So then I clicked on the tweet, went on that guy's timeline, and I noticed that he'd been doing this with other girls. And then I remember clicking on one of them, and it said that her tweet was unavailable, which meant that she deleted it. So I got mad. I'm like, wow, this, like, he made someone delete their tweet. And then I'm like, hold up, maybe I should delete mine. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to let this dude bully me into feeling ugly and therefore deleting this just because he doesn't think I'm beautiful, But yeah, so it was still brutal. Like I just remember all kinds of thoughts running through my mind. Cause like I said, I'd never, I'd really never expected it to happen about how I look. More about my brains. And for that, I've always prepared myself because I don't say stuff, especially on social media, unless I truly believe it. And I'm always ready to like defend my position, especially if I feel like, you get what I mean. So I didn't expect them to do that, and I just wasn't ready for it. Anyways, after I told my friends about it, they went on Twitter. Like I remember a couple were going on Twitter and they dragged the guy. They dissed his eyebrows, they dissed his glasses, and he wasn't like he wasn't ugly, but he wasn't like the best looking guy to be out here, dissing and like basically abusing other people and calling them ugly. Like if you're gonna do that, sorry, but you gotta be like, I was just like, you better be perfect looking, sir, before you do that to us. Anyways, I just remember my friends doing that and I was so happy, and I remember being like, this is kind of hypocritical, but I'm like, I don't care. Like I was triggered, so I was just glad there was someone who was calling him ugly, someone not me, even though yes, they were my friends and I'm the one who basically told them about it, and that's why they did it. But yeah, I just remember being so happy. My friends are brutal. Oh my god, they're brutal. But I don't know, at the end of the day it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Like when you imagine it happening and when it happens, you're like, whoa, this is especially for me, because I'm this prideful person. Like I just like my pride was just like, happened to me and it's not that I think that I'm this like I'm on Beyonce level or anything, but still I was just like, it was just so funny how shocked I was. 1 second. Okay, sorry, that was my sister. Anyway, so yeah, it's not that I think I'm this person, who's up here or anything, but still, it was just crazy that someone would do that. I don't know, I just found it crazy. And also, I'm aware that not everyone's gonna find you beautiful. It's just a fact of life. Like, you'll be too dark, your face will be too round, too full, all these things. So it's not that I don't know that. But I just like it's just such a weird thing dragging people just because of their looks, especially when they're not putting down someone else. Like I kind of support it if the person's putting down other people, which is why I supported what my friends did. Well, like if the person hasn't hurt you, what is it to you? Like why do you need to say that? Anyways, another thing I noticed was it was mostly men who were just dragging women. Like I didn't see them dragging other men, or I didn't see women dragging men. So I could be wrong, of course, but I didn't see that, and I'm just like, well, patriarchy. I'm just saying, obviously that played a part. But another thing I noticed on that guy's retweet was there were some women who commented and they were laughing and stuff. So I was just like, okay, like I get the guys, but then the women, why would you support a guy doing that? Number one. Number two, it could be you. It could easily be you. Like why you do it could easily be you. So I never get women who do that, but at the same time I wasn't surprised about it, especially about Ugandan women, not gonna lie. But yeah, so I also remember thinking, I'm glad I don't have like a lot of followers, because if I had like 1,000 followers, it would have been 1,000 times worse. I have like 150 followers and I'm chill with that. But it was annoying. Like there were people who liked the guy's retweet more than they liked my photo, and I was just like, you know what, y'all ain't shit. But it was still annoying for my pride, and for mostly it's my pride that was hurt, to be honest, because at the end of the day, I know I'm cute and I like how I look. Like yeah, obviously I know my body's not perfect and there are issues that I have with it, but not to the extent that I hate it as a whole, So at the end of the day, the guy who said that didn't end up making me feel like I was less than, but it wounded my pride. It really did, and I don't like my pride being hurt more than anything. I remember wondering whether I'd ever participate in hashtags ever again, and then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna let this guy win. Like I'm not gonna let this guy bully me into feeling like I'm not good enough to participate in this thing if I want to, And again, pride. This is just gonna keep going back to pride, really, if I'm honest. But generally, as someone who's survived a Twitter drag about your looks, my advice is wait, if it's about like things that you said, then I mean, if they're right, then just apologize and move on. People like and just leave it alone. Like people move on. But if you're right, then just stick to your guns. And I mean, there's always gonna be dumb people. There's always gonna be people who believe the wrong thing despite the fact, despite the evidence. You know, so just move on again. But if it's about your looks, okay, if you're superficial like me, tell your friends to go drag the person. I was so happy. He brought me so much joy. And I remember being like, you know, you should encourage this. I'm like, I mean, they started it, you know. But if you're not superficial like that, if you're, you know, more mature than that, want to handle things more maturely, which I'm both, so I do both the superficial thing and the mature thing. One thing I did is I made sure I had a conversation with myself after that happened. I was like, okay, where do I derive my affirmation and my just me as a person? Where do I find my affirmation from, right? And it made me realize that if I had to put it into percentages, I would say 50% of it comes from my friends, which kind of sounds lame, like from my girlfriends to be specific. Like, yeah, I have guy friends who say like the right things and it's like, oh, that's so sweet, you think that? Okay, cool. But I feel like with my girlfriends, because, well, number one, they're girls, so I'm like, obviously they know what they're talking about. I mean, they're women too, you know. And then also just, I don't know, there's something about like when your girlfriends gas you up, like that's to me, so I feel like, yeah, 50% of it is from them, and then I'd say 40% is from me, and then the other 10% I would say social media. Like, and another reason why I'm sure it's girlfriends is because I wouldn't have, number one, derived so much joy from my girlfriends dragging the guy. I mean, there was a guy friend who did as well, but like mostly it was my girlfriends when they dragged him that I was just like, bruh, okay, I feel good now. And then another reason why I'm sure most of it comes from my girlfriends because let's say I post a photo on Instagram, and on Instagram as well, I have a few followers and I like it that way. But let's say I post a photo on Instagram and I get like just 10 likes. As long as my girlfriend have liked it, I feel like it's perfect. Like it was a cute post. If like just a couple of my girlfriends have liked it, I'm just like, okay, so I guess that was an ugly photo, or like, you know, that was just a horrible post, like legit. And so I realized that, and I was like, okay, I want most of my affirmation to come from myself. Like I want it to be at least 70% from myself, because like, yes, I like my girlfriends and I know that they have the best interest at heart for me, but at the end of the day, it's better these things come from yourself. And then I would say like the other 30% from my friends, you know, so like 70% for myself and then 30% for my friends. But yeah, so it was not as scary as I always imagined it to be, you know. Like I always imagined that it would be so bad. I'd be like, okay, cool, we're deleting Twitter. I almost said Tinder. We're deleting Twitter. Never again. Like I always imagine that's how I'd react, especially because I'm the kind of person who's like, well, blocked. You know, like I like to end things. So I was always so sure that it would run me off or something. But I was like, you know what, guys, that sucked. That really sucked. Damn. And I was telling all my friends about it. The funny thing is, some of my friends hadn't even seen the guy who had retweeted and dissed me until I brought it up. So I'm like, see? The people who you care about wouldn't have even seen this if you hadn't shown it to them, you know? I don't know, that actually also kind of made me happy. But anyways, here's the thing. Overall, yes, that shit hurt. But I'm glad it happened because it taught me not to look at, like I don't majorly look for, what's the word? For affirmation from social media. But even the amount that I do look for in it taught me to like reduce it, and then also to try and find it more in myself than in my girlfriends. Like that was what I learned from it. And remember, by the way, when people do that, just remember that as long as you find yourself beautiful, that's what matters. At the end of the day, if you find, like, you need to work on you finding yourself beautiful. Like that's the most important thing. Ignore what anyone else says. As long as you like how you look, then that's what matters. And if you don't like how you look, I don't know, just learn to like how you look. Because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect, and none of us will be found attractive by everyone. Well, unless you're Rihanna or Beyonce, but like, you get my point. So, okay, so like I was saying, at the end of the day, what matters is what you think about yourself, you know. And just remember that you're beautiful. The way you're made is beautiful. So celebrate it, because no one else is going to celebrate it like you. Don't wait for other people to celebrate you. Start celebrating yourself. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it was so long. I always say I'm gonna do short videos and they always get so long because I'm very talkative.